Do you remember the classic children's book series about a family of bears? Many people are adamant they grew up reading about the Berenstain Bears, spelled with an AIN. But if you look at the books today, you'll see they've always been spelled Berenstain, with an EIN. This is just one example of a strange phenomenon known as the Mandela effect. It's a situation where a large group of people collectively misremembers a specific detail or event. The name itself comes from one of the most famous examples. Thousands of people across the globe distinctly recall Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980s. They remember news clips, television specials, and even school lessons about his death. Yet, the historical record is clear. Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990, went on to become the president of South Africa, and passed away in 2013. So how could so many people share the exact same false memory? Is it simply a glitch in our collective memory, or could it be evidence of something far more extraordinary? Some believe it's a sign that we are sliding between parallel universes. Let's explore some more famous examples that might make you question your own memory. Do you remember the classic line from the beloved space saga, where the villain reveals a shocking family secret? Most people would quote it as, "Luke, I am your father." It's one of the most iconic and frequently repeated lines in cinema history. However, the actual line spoken in the film is, "No, I am your father." The name Luke is never said in that sentence. This is a massive discrepancy for a line that has been parroted and referenced for decades. Why do we all add that one extra word? Another one that puzzles many involves a beloved peanut butter brand. Many Americans swear they grew up eating Jiffy peanut butter. They remember the red, blue, and green logo on the jar in their childhood pantries. But the brand Jiffy has never existed. It has always been Jif. Again, a massive group of people shares a memory of a product that seems to have been wiped from our reality. Or how about the classic fairy tale? When the evil queen consults her enchanted mirror, what does she say? Almost everyone will confidently tell you she says, "Mirror, mirror, on the wall." In reality, the line in the classic animated film is, "Magic mirror, on the wall." The phrase mirror, mirror is so ingrained in our culture, yet it's technically incorrect according to the source material most people associate it with. From brand names to movie quotes, these shared false memories are everywhere. So, what's the scientific explanation for this bizarre phenomenon? Psychologists have several theories, and none of them involve alternate realities. One of the primary explanations is confabulation. This is a memory error where our brains create false memories without any intention to deceive. Our minds are not perfect recording devices, they fill in gaps with what seems plausible. When we try to recall something, our brains reconstruct the memory from various sources of information. Sometimes, this process goes wrong, and we stitch together incorrect details, creating a memory of something that never happened. Think about the Luke, "I am your father" example. It's contextually more direct and dramatic to include the name. Over time, through cultural osmosis and repetition in parodies, this more correct version of the line has overwritten the original in many people's minds. Another factor is suggestibility. Our memories are highly malleable and can be influenced by outside information. If you hear enough people confidently state that the Berenstain Bears were spelled with an AIN, you might start to doubt your own recollection or even form a new, false memory. This is similar to the misinformation effect, where our recall of an event becomes less accurate because of post-event information. If news reports, online forums, and friends all discuss the Jiffy brand, our brains might adopt this information as a genuine memory. Our brains are also wired for pattern recognition and efficiency. They often take shortcuts, creating what's known as a schema. For the Berenstain Bears, many common names end in Stein, like Frankenstein or Einstein. Our brain, seeking efficiency, might have defaulted to the more common and familiar spelling, Berenstain, and stored it that way. When confronted with the actual spelling, it creates a feeling of cognitive dissonance, a sense that something is wrong. But what about the Mandela effect's namesake? How could so many people remember Nelson Mandela's death in the 1980s? The explanation here is likely a convergence of related, but separate, pieces of information. During the 1980s, Nelson Mandela was a prominent figure in the global news due to the anti-apartheid movement. He was critically ill several times while imprisoned, and there were frequent, dire reports about his health and the harsh conditions of his incarceration. It's plausible that these news stories, combined with the general association of political prisoners dying in custody, led people to mistakenly conclude that he had passed away. When he re-emerged in the public eye in 1990, some people's brains simply didn't update the old, incorrect information. The memory of his death was already solidified. All these psychological explanations are logical and grounded in how we know the human brain works. They paint a picture of our memory as a flawed and easily influenced system. But for many, these explanations just don't feel sufficient. They don't capture the visceral certainty people feel about their memories. How could so many disconnected individuals create the exact same false detail? This is where the more speculative, and frankly more exciting, theory comes into play: the multiverse. The idea of parallel universes has long been a staple of science fiction, but it also has roots in theoretical physics, particularly in quantum mechanics. The many worlds interpretation suggests that every time a quantum measurement is made, the universe splits into multiple universes, one for each possible outcome. In this model, there's an infinite number of parallel Earths, each with a slightly different history. According to this theory, the Mandela effect is a symptom of a sliding or shifting between these parallel realities. Perhaps in another universe, the book series really was called the Berenstain Bears with an AIN. Maybe there's a reality where a goofy comedy film called Shazaam starring the comedian Sinbad as a genie really was made in the 1990s. This is another major Mandela effect, where thousands of people remember this film vividly, even recalling specific scenes and poster art. No record of this film exists. The closest real-world movie is Shazaam, starring a different celebrity. Proponents of the multiverse theory argue that these people aren't misremembering, they are accurately remembering a timeline from a universe they've since shifted away from. This theory would explain the shared nature of the false memories. It wasn't a mass confabulation, it was a shared experience from a different reality. The people who remember Shazaam all came from the Shazaam universe. It also explains the emotional certainty people feel. Their memory isn't false, it's just from a different place. The feeling of wrongness they experience is a kind of dimensional jet lag, a cognitive dissonance caused by living in a reality that doesn't quite match their memories. Some have even tried to link this supposed phenomenon to events like the activation of the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. The theory goes that these massive physics experiments might be powerful enough to merge or create overlaps between different timelines, causing these small, mundane discrepancies to appear in our reality. Of course, there is absolutely no scientific evidence to support this. The multiverse remains a purely theoretical concept, and the idea that we are shifting between universes is firmly in the realm of speculation. So, what should we believe? On one hand, we have the psychological explanation, backed by decades of research into the fallibility of human memory. It's the most rational and evidence-based conclusion. Our brains are not perfect video cameras. They are editing suites, constantly cutting, pasting, and filling in gaps to create a coherent, but not always accurate, narrative of our lives. On the other hand, the multiverse theory offers a far more intriguing possibility. It suggests that our reality is just one of many and that our memories might be windows into worlds we've left behind. It validates the strong feelings of those who experience the Mandela effect, telling them that they aren't just misremembering. While it lacks evidence, it's a powerful and compelling idea that speaks to our desire for the world to be more mysterious and wonderful than it seems. Ultimately, the Mandela effect serves as a fascinating case study in memory and belief. It forces us to confront the fact that our own perception of the past might not be as reliable as we think. Whether you believe it's a glitch in our brains or a glitch in the fabric of reality, one thing is certain: the next time you remember a movie line or a brand name, you might just pause and wonder if your memory is from this universe or another. What are some of the strangest Mandela effects you've experienced? Let us know in the comments, and for more deep dives into the mysteries of our world, make sure to subscribe to Curiosity Repo.